Hi, welcome to Digital Farm TV. I'm Helen Ballard. Japan's Kirin Holdings Aussie subsidiary Lion this week bought a 10% stake in Warrnambool Cheese and Butter in a move that could block a takeover by Canada's Saputo Inc., according to Reuters news agency. WCB has been the subject of a fierce bidding war, with Saputo, Canada's largest dairy producer, last week raising its bid to $449 million. That offer trumped separate approaches from WCB's two largest shareholders, Bega Cheese and Murray Goulburn. Australian dairy and farm assets are attracting increasing interest as companies ramp up for Asia's growing appetite for milk, cheese and other dairy products. Elders is set to walk away from its disastrous foray into forestry through a deal that will cement the Karate family as Western Australia's biggest holders of prime agricultural land, with around 70,000 hectares in their portfolio. Under a deal unveiled yesterday, Elders will end a $1 million a month cash burn on leases over non-viable Esperance plantations. Control of the listed investment vehicle Agricultural Land Trust will be handed to a company controlled by Alan Karate. It's understood the Karate family will bulldoze and burn the plantations on the cancelled leases and remediate the land for cropping and livestock. New South Wales Minister for Primary Industries, Katrina Hodgkinson, has announced a suite of assistance measures to help primary producers in northwest New South Wales deal with the drought. The in-drought and drought preparedness measures include a new $20 million farm innovation fund to provide producers with loans at concessional interest rates, $4.4 million to fund Phase 3 of the popular Cap and Pipe the Bores program, and $6 million of Commonwealth and New South Wales government funding for the Mellowa Creek water supply project to guarantee stock and water supply for a group of landholders between Moree and Colla-Enabri. The announcement follows calls by New South Wales Farmers President Fiona Simpson for urgent action. The Australian Wool Exchange says it has received a good response to a review of the National Wool Declaration program that requires producers to disclose whether their sheep have been mulesed, according to ABC Rural. AWEX is reviewing submissions and will make a decision next month on any changes to the Wool Declaration form and on-farm inspection program. CEO Mark Graves said the declaration was important even though some of the heat had gone out of the mulesing debate. AWEX was hoping to ensure it had a program that would support wool growers and would also support buyers looking for certain types of wool raised under certain conditions. The latest Bureau of Meteorology seasonal outlook pointed to a tough finish to 2013 for the cattle market, according to Meat and Livestock Australia. The steady supply of cattle continued to be absorbed by a limited field of buyers, with drought through Queensland, along with northern and western New South Wales. Restocker and feeder demand had dried up across major selling centres. Given the dry outlook for the remainder of 2013, adult cattle slaughter was on track to exceed 8 million head for only the second year since 1980, which would be at least a 9% increase on 2012's 7.352 million head. Dairy Australia had invested $58.2 million on research, development and industry services in 2012-2013, 10% more than in the last financial year, according to its annual report released this week. Dairy Australia also notified its members of the annual general meeting scheduled to take place in Melbourne on the 29th of November. The AGM was not only an opportunity for Dairy Australia members to see how their levy had been spent over the past 12 months, but also a chance to vote on some important recommendations for change in the organisation's constitution, according to Chair Max Roberts. Finally this week, across the ditch, a massive 27,000 hectare farm the size of Christchurch has been sold to a North American investment group, according to New Zealand Farmer Online. The undisclosed price was believed by industry sources to be about 30 million New Zealand dollars. The Mount Pemba station is in the Lees Valley, about 85 kilometres northwest of Christchurch. It was sold by John and Bernice Ramsey, who also own Waikato meat processing business Crusader Meats and have other farming interests in the North Island. That's all from Digital Farm TV this week. Look forward to your company next week. I'm Helen Ballard.